morning, everyone. I'm Dan Alexander, Deputy County Executive for Public Safety. Unfortunately, Mr. Schroeder could not be with us today. He sends his regrets. Please stand for the presentation of colors and the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order! Up! Right, please. Forward, up.
Please be seated. Thank you for joining us today as we remember and honor those we lost as a result of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which occurred 22 years ago today. Together, we commit, once again, to never forget. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the elected officials who are present here today. From our board, our chair, Ann Wheeler. From the Neabsco District, Supervisor Victor Angry. From Potomac, Andrea Bailey. From Gainesville, Bob Weir. From Woodbridge, Margaret Franklin. And from Coles, Yesley Vega. We also have Delegate Danica Rome, Delegate Brianna Sewell. From our constitutional officers, our clerk of the circuit court, Jackie Smith, our Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, and from Congresswoman Spanberger's office, Natalie Stewart. As you know, September 11th is officially known as Patriot Day. On that tragic day, ordinary Americans demonstrated uncommon courage, fierce resolve, and unwavering perseverance. These extraordinary heroes will forever be honored and memorialized as true patriots. Of the nearly 3,000 people who died on 9/11, more than 400 of the fallen were our heroic first responders. On that day, they courageously faced unprecedented threats and challenges as they risked their lives to save others. The Fire and Rescue Service has a special tradition to honor and respect those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Before telephones and radios, fire departments used the telegraph system to communicate. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, the fire alarm office would tap out 3 sets of 5 measured dashes with a pause between each set. This became known as the tolling of the bell. The Fire and Rescue Service continues this honored tradition. Lieutenant Jeff Howdyshell of the Prince William County Fire and Rescue System will now ring the bell in honor and remembrance of all the victims of September 11th. I now welcome the Chair of the Prince William Board of County Supervisor, Ann Wheeler, to say a few words.
Good morning. Today is a day of remembrance for all of us as we pause to reflect on the tragic events 22 years ago. On that day, our nation was forever changed, and nearly 3,000 people lost their lives in the terrorist attacks on our great nation. Prince William County was deeply impacted, with 22 of our residents lost that day, more than any other region in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. We also remember the brave first responders who ran towards danger, risking and sacrificing their lives to help others. And we remember the families of those that died that day, whose loss is unfathomable. And while we remember those who sacrificed so much, it is my hope that we will also remember the movement of unity that came immediately following the attacks, as our nation mourned together, supported each other, and loved one another. Jeff Parness, the founder of New York Says Thank You, once said, "When Americans lend a hand to one another, nothing is impossible." We're not about what happened on September 11th. We are about what happened on September 12th. We must never forget September 11th, 2001. We must never forget the sacrifice and suffering of so many and the pain of our nation. But let's also not forget September 12th and what that meant for the healing and strength of our country. How at the end of the day, we are stronger together, we are better together, and we are more resilient together. As I read the names inscribed on the Fountain Memorial, let us remember and honor our loved ones, friends, and neighbors who made the ultimate sacrifice that day. Let us honor and thank our first responders who willingly run toward danger to save and protect others. And let us make a commitment to be kind to one another, to love one another, and to reclaim that spirit of unity that followed that tragic day. Let our community and our leaders focus on what brings us together, not what divides us. And here are the names of our 22 residents. Sergeant First Class John J. Chada, U.S. Army, retired. Petty Officer Third Class Jamie L. Fallon, U.S. Navy. Amelia V. Fields. Lieutenant Colonel Robert J. Heimel, U.S. Air Force, retired. Sergeant Major Lacey B. Ivory, U.S. Army. Judith L. Jones. David W. Lachek, James T. Lynch Jr., Jean E. Malloy, Robert J. Maxwell, Molly L. McKenzie, Craig J. Miller, Diana B. Padro, Rhonda S. Rasmussen, Edward V. Rowenhorst, Judy Roulette, Donald D. Simmons, Jeff L. Simpson, Cheryl D. Sincock, Chief Information Systems Technician Greg H. Smallwood, U.S. Navy, Sergeant Major Larry L. Strickland, U.S. Army, and Sandra L. White. While we've gathered here on this day, we must never forget the precious price paid for so many, and we must go forward together with that remembrance. And I will note, after taps is played, if you can rise during taps. Thank you all for coming out today on such a solemn and remembrance occasion. Thank you.
This concludes our ceremony. You're invited to visit our Liberty Memorial Fountain and World Trade Center Steel Memorial to reflect on what this day means to you, to our community, and to our country. Thank you for joining us today.